If you can't find a way, create one. नमस्कार फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू नेक्स्ट आईएएस। इस वीडियो में हम फोकस करेंगे मेजर प्लेसेस जो रिसेंटली न्यूज में थी एंड ये यूपीएससी के लिए काफी रेलेवेंट हैं। तो चलिए दोस्तों, आज का डिस्कशन स्टार्ट करते हैं माउंट सेमेरू के साथ। रिसेंटली माउंट सेमेरू हैज इरप्टेड वंस अगेन एंड इट इज द हाईएस्ट वोल्केनो ऑफ जावा आइलैंड। तो चलिए थोड़ा डिटेल में जानते हैं माउंट सेमेरू को। In Indonesian, it is known as Gunung Semeru. It is an active stratovolcano located to the south of Bromo Tengger Semeru National Park, which is a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve in East Java Province, Indonesia. Now, what is stratovolcano? It is also called composite volcano. They are typically steep-sided, symmetrical cones built of alternating layers of lava flows, volcanic ash, and other eruptive products. Indonesia, which is an archipelago for more than 270 million people, is prone to earthquakes and volcanic activity because it sits along Pacific Ring of Fire, which is a horseshoe-shaped series of fault lines. Now let's know more about Pacific's rings of fire region. So friends, it is also called Circum-Pacific Belt, and it is a path along the Pacific Ocean characterized by active volcanoes and frequent earthquakes. Now you can see the location of Rings of Fire region. It traces boundaries between several tectonic plates, and these are Pacific, Cocos, Indian, Australian, Nazca, North American and Philippine plates. And it is home to about 75% of the world's volcanoes and about 90% of its earthquakes. In the realm of Ring of Fire, the tectonic plates overlap at the convergent boundaries, which results in subduction zones. Here, plate below at the convergent boundary is pushed down or subducted by the plate above. As rock is subducted, it melts and becomes magma. The abundance of magma so near to Earth's surface give rise to conditions ripe for volcanic activity. Now let's know some facts about Indonesia. Its capital is Jakarta, and it is a country in Southeast Asia and Oceania between Indian and Pacific Oceans, and it shares land borders with Malaysia on Borneo and Sebatik, Papua New Guinea on island of New Guinea, East Timor on the island of Timor, and its maritime borders are Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, Philippines, Palau and Australia. Now let's look at the history of Indonesia. For most of the colonial period, Dutch controlled the island, and Japanese invasion and subsequent occupation during World War II ended Dutch rule. This is the location of Indonesia on the map. Now let's look at the political features of Indonesia. It is a republic with presidential system, and its geographical features are Indonesia consists of over 17,000 islands, and it is the world's largest island country and largest archipelagic country, and its islands include Sumatra, Java, Sulawesi and parts of Borneo and New Guinea. And here Java is the most populous island. Its highest peak is Pangkak Jaya, largest lake is Lake Toba, which is in Sumatra, and its largest rivers are Kapuas, Barito, Memberamo, Sapek and Mahakam, and they serve as communication and transport links between the island's river settlements. Here you can see the location of Indonesia and its geographical features, right? Now let's go to Myanmar. Recently, Myanmar urged the India that people of Myanmar entering Indian states of Mizoram and Manipur should be treated like other international refugees. Myanmar has faced a civil war since late 1940s as the central government and multiple military rulers of the country failed to provide federal guarantees to various regions and ethnic groups of the country. In this context, let's look at the India's stand on refugees. India is not a signatory to the 1951 UN Convention relating to the status of refugees and 1967 Protocol. All foreign undocumented nationals are governed as per the provisions of Foreigners Act 1946, Registration of Foreigners Act 1939, Passport Entry to India Act 1920 and Citizenship Act 1955. Right, now let's learn some key facts about Myanmar. Its capital is Naypyidaw and it is the largest country in mainland Southeast Asia. तो चलिए बाकी पॉइंट्स को मैप में देखते हैं। इसके नॉर्थ वेस्ट में है बांग्लादेश एंड इंडिया, नॉर्थ ईस्ट में इसके है चाइना, ईस्ट एंड साउथ ईस्ट में है इसके लाओस एंड थाईलैंड, एंड साउथ वेस्ट में है इसके अंडमान सी एंड बे ऑफ बंगाल. Now let's look at the history of Myanmar. It is formerly known as Burma, and British East India Company seized the control of administration of Myanmar after 3 Anglo-Burmese wars in 19th century, and country became British colony. After a brief Japanese occupation, Myanmar was reconquered by allies and gained independence in 1948, and its geographical features are Hangduan Mountains, forms the border with China, and many mountain ranges such as Rakhine Yoma, Bego Yoma, Shan Hills, Tenasserim Hills exist within Myanmar, and all of which run north to south from Himalayas, and its highest point is Hakakabu Razi, which is located in Kachin state, and its river system are mountain chains divides Myanmar's three river system, and these are Irrawaddy, Salween and Sitwang rivers. Irrawaddy is the Myanmar's longest river which flows into Gulf of Mertaban, and majority of the Myanmar's population lives in the Irrawaddy Valley, which is situated between Rakhine Yoma and Shan Plateau. In this map you can see the location of Myanmar and its features. तो चलिए अब चलते हैं सेंट्रल एशियन रीजन की तरफ. इट वॉज इन द न्यूज, फर्स्ट टाइम इंडिया इज होस्टिंग अ कॉन्क्लेव ऑफ टॉप सिक्योरिटी ऑफिशियल्स फ्रॉम सेंट्रल एशियन रीजन कंट्रीज फोकसिंग ऑन द इवॉल्विंग सिक्योरिटी सिचुएशन इन अफगानिस्तान. नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एडवाइजर अजीत डोवल chaired the first India Central Asian meeting of National Security Advisors and Secretaries of Security Council in Delhi. Now let's know about Central Asian region. It comprises the countries of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. It is a diverse region with mix of upper middle and low income countries with major strategic importance due to their geographic location and natural resources endowments. India was among the first countries to recognize 5 Central Asian states. तो चलिए इसके बॉर्डर एरियाज को देखते हैं मैप में. इसके वेस्ट में है कैस्पियन सी, ईस्ट में इसके चाइना है, नॉर्थ में इसके रशिया है एंड साउथ में इसके है ईरान, Afghanistan and China. Now let's look at the key features of Central Asian region. About 60% of the region consists of desert land and principal deserts being the Karakum occupying most of Turkmenistan and Krizilkum covering much of western Uzbekistan. And most of the Uzbekistan is desert, and Fergana in eastern Uzbekistan is a fertile valley fed by two rivers, Naryan and Kara Darya, and flanked by Tinshan in north and Jisar mountains, which is a part of Pamir range in the south. Fergana was and still is food bowl of Central Asia. Now let's look at the history associated with this region. In 1494, at only 12 years of age, Babur, founder of Mughal Empire, succeeded his father Umar Mirza Sheikh as ruler of Fergana in present-day Uzbekistan. In 1526, Zahiruddin Muhammad Babur crossed the Pamir and Hindu Kush ranges, came through Khyber Pass to Panipat, right? This is the location of the region. तो चलिए फ्रेंड्स, अब जानते हैं काजीरंगा नेशनल पार्क के बारे में. इंडिया एंड फ्रांस आर कोलैबोरेटिंग ऑन काजीरंगा प्रोजेक्ट. नाउ लेट्स लर्न अबाउट काजीरंगा प्रोजेक्ट. इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ लार्जर Assam project on forest and biodiversity conservation, for which Agence Française de Développement has committed funding of 80.2 million euro for 10-year period between 2014 to 2024. The project conceptualized the reforestation of 33,500 hectares of land and training of 10,000 community members in alternate livelihoods by 2024, and Kaziranga National Park remains the heart of the program. Now let's learn about Kaziranga National Park. It is the largest undivided representative area of Brahmaputra Valley floodplain grassland, which is a complex ecosystem of grassland where various stages of biotic succession in grasslands ecosystem are explicit. And Kaziranga National Park is abode of more than 70% of one-horned rhinoceros in the world, and it is one of the oldest wildlife conservation reserves of India, which was first notified in 1905 and constituted as reserve forest in 1908, and it was declared as wildlife sanctuary in 1950 and notified as Kaziranga National Park in 1974 under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. It was declared as World Heritage Site back in 1985, and it is recognized as important bird area by BirdLife International. तो चलिए फ्रेंड्स, लास्ट में अब जानते हैं कंगेर वैली नेशनल पार्क के बारे में. इट वॉज इन द न्यूज बिकॉज रिसेंटली बर्ड वॉचर्स एंड फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट ऑफिशियल्स counted 200 types of birds in Kanger Valley National Park. Now let's know more about Kanger Valley National Park. The name of Kanger Ghati National Park is derived from the Kanger River, and Kanger Valley got the status of National Park in the year 1982, and it is located in Bastar region of Chhattisgarh. Now let's look at some key features of the park. The Valley National Park is a typical mixed humid deciduous type of forest in which sal, sagon, teak and bamboo trees are available in abundance. The most popular species in this area is Bastar Maina, which enchants everyone with their human voice. And the national park is known for the presence of underground limestone caves with dripstone and flushstone. In the eastern part of national park, the Bhansadra is located where one can see the sandy beaches where crocodiles are mostly found, and Tirathgarh waterfalls is located in Kanger Valley National Park. In this map, you can see the major national parks of India, right? So with this, let's conclude our today's discussion. Thanks for listening. Have a happy and blessed Sunday.